Right now, in this very moment, two hearts are aching for each other across whatever distance separates them. The emptiness you're experiencing isn't random. It's a shared frequency between souls who recognize something profound in one another. This isn't about dependency or weakness. This is about an authentic bond that exists beneath the surface of everyday life, beyond text threads and video calls. And what I'm about to reveal will explain why both of you carry this weight simultaneously. Let me walk you through the invisible architecture of what's really happening between these two hearts. First, your heart aches because your spirit hasn't forgotten what logic tries to erase. Your rational mind insists, let go, be practical, stop dwelling. Yet something deeper murmurs, that was different, that was genuine, that cannot simply vanish. This chest-deep sensation exists because your essence knows them. Your essence recalls the safety, the belonging, the way their energy transformed your reality into shelter. Even while occupying yourself with distractions, a quiet part keeps wondering, are they feeling this too? The answer is yes. This longing flows both directions. Second, they're missing you far more than your doubts allow you to believe. You might assume they've built walls, found peace, moved forward without looking back. Reality tells a different story. They're concealing more than you imagine. Externally, their routine appears intact. Internally, there's a vacancy where your presence once resided. They remember your laughter, your words, your particular way of existing, your attention, your spirit. They miss the version of themselves that emerged when you were present. Because beside you, they felt awakened. Beside you, they felt comprehended. Beside you, they felt witnessed in ways that matter. That recognition doesn't evaporate overnight. Third, you're both experiencing reflected emotional states. The reason this bond cuts so intensely is because your feelings echo one another. When sadness touches you, unease touches them. When longing fills you, heaviness fills them. When midnight thoughts turn to them, they suddenly remember you simultaneously. This represents a connected energetic exchange where your vibrations respond to each other. That's why sometimes emotions arise seemingly without cause. It's their feeling bleeding into yours. Fourth, both of you are wrestling with your own inner truth. You're both performing strength. You're both masking genuine emotions. You're both hiding authentic needs. You believe expressing vulnerability equals defeat. They believe initiating contact equals exposure. So instead of communicating, mutual silence prevails. But quietness isn't resolution. Quietness is internal chaos for both parties. Each waits. Each hopes the other will break first. Each wonders if the other still holds space for them, and both suffer because of this standoff. Fifth, the deepest agony isn't absence, it's unexpressed. Affection. The discomfort you're carrying isn't about physical separation, it's about words that remained trapped inside. They also replay everything left unspoken. I wish I'd expressed how essential they were. I wish I hadn't created distance. I wish I'd shown more patience, more grace. Regret lives in both chambers, not because the feeling was mistaken, but because circumstances made things complicated. Sixth, you're both mourning the microscopic moments most intensely. You're not merely missing the person themselves. You're grieving the intimate fragments they wove into your existence, how they spoke your name, their specific laugh, the texture of their voice, the ease of their nearness, knowing someone genuinely cared, the unspoken understanding that needed no translation. They grieve these details too. They revisit memories, they scroll through old exchanges. They linger on your name sometimes. They observe your life from afar. They wonder about your well-being. They picture your expressions. They miss the irreplaceable things only you provided them. Seventh, this connection hasn't concluded. It's experiencing intermission. What fills you currently isn't finality. It's not termination. It's suspension. a stretch of space that existence has positioned between you for restoration, for understanding, for evolution. But the invisible thread linking your hearts remains intact. It's extended, not severed. Fate operates mysteriously sometimes. Occasionally, it creates distance between two spirits so they can reunite with greater awareness, wholeness, and devotion. This doesn't carry the frequency of something finished. This carries the frequency of something incomplete, something with more to express. Eighth, you're both terrified of permanent loss, even while pretending progression, even while displaying resilience. Internally, both fear one outcome. What if they disappear forever? This fear sustains the connection. This fear draws your hearts toward reunion. This fear intensifies the ache. Because truthfully, neither envisions existence where the other ceases to matter. Ninth, the feeling never departed. It simply grew quieter. Despite silence, distance, elapsed time, uncertainty, turmoil, the emotion between you hasn't perished. It's merely become subdued. Affection doesn't vanish because conversations stop. Affection doesn't terminate because reality grows complex. Affection doesn't diminish because fear dominates. If anything, affection strengthens within quietness. It persists, it waits, it remembers. Your hearts maintain recognition of each other. That's why the pain reaches so profoundly. 10th, the ache you experience validates something authentic. If this were merely surface-level attraction, a fleeting interaction, a passing phase, you wouldn't experience this intensity. Your heart wouldn't throb during random midnight hours. Your chest wouldn't constrict recalling them. Your expression wouldn't soften hearing their name. This discomfort isn't punishment, it's evidence. Evidence that something meaningful occurred, something significant, something permanent. 11th, they're hoping for indication from you. They want connection, they want dialogue, they want to understand your current state. But fear holds them back. Fear that you've moved forward. Fear that indifference replaced care. Fear that rejection awaits them. So they maintain distance, hoping circumstances will organically bring reconnection. Internally, they're watching for even the smallest gesture from you, an acknowledgement, a greeting, a message, anything, because their desire for you remains. 12th, cosmic forces are arranging circumstances favorably. Sometimes two hearts who ache for each other are being refined for something more enduring. The universe is sculpting both of you, cultivating patience, compassion, growth. This encounter isn't coincidental. It's woven into something larger. A moment will arrive when alignment happens, when both hearts are prepared, when reunion occurs with deeper understanding, stronger affection, mutual respect. The discomfort you're experiencing now is the universe preparing your heart to receive something extraordinary. 13th, you still hold territory in each other's inner landscape. Even as circumstances transformed, even as situations shifted, even while attempting to forget, a space exists in your heart that only they can occupy. And a space exists in their heart that only you can occupy. That's the source of mutual longing. That's the source of pain. That's why the connection refuses dissolution. Certain souls meet briefly, but influence each other eternally. You and this person represent that category of connection. 14th, the intensity will soften and the connection will gain clarity. As time progresses, pain will gradually transform into comprehension. Longing will become lucidity. Confusion will become tranquility. Yearning will become realization. You'll grasp why you encountered each other, why separation occurred, why this connection persists. Eventually, you'll know precisely what action to take, but presently, acknowledge the authenticity of this bond. Accept your heart's depth. Honor the emotions you carry, because what you're feeling is your heart's declaration. This person mattered profoundly, and they continue to matter. This is psychology wisdom. If understanding the mysteries between hearts and minds fascinates you, subscribe and activate notifications so you never miss insights that could transform your perspective on connection.